My fault, people. My fault. Give me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Give me give me 1 second. I want to set the mood for what we talking about. So just bear with me 1 second. Hey, excuse me. All right. Now, why you waiting for me to do what I do? Uh, just pay attention to this map right here. This is the map of the dams in the U.S. This is the U.S. Dam map. So pay attention to that for 1 second, because we gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that, and we got some more events coming that we are not aware of. So I'm bringing it to the light so that you know we know. All right. Excuse me. All right. And also, shouts out to my mom. My mom's in the building. Shouts out to her. Now I ain't supposed to be stopping past as well, but we're gonna be getting into a lot of what we previously been talking about with this Earth stuff. Oh, let me remove that. Remove that. I don't need y'all to see that just yet. But we've been we've been talking about the Earth lately. Um, right here, I just was going on Google and happened to see that they was talking about the the Earth poles are shifting, and that with the Earth poles shifting, that can cause problems to places like ours and places that normally wouldn't be affected by certain kind of storms and stuff like that will be affected. Um, so I found that interesting, and I wanted to bring that to play. Okay, all right. So I gotta save this to the drive. Okay, so I'm trying to get this video. That's what I'm over here doing. I'm trying to get this video for y'all real quick so we can start this up. And I didn't want to push back the time because I already pushed it back 15 minutes. So while that little brief 20 minutes of bull crap that we normally do, not normally not normally bull crap, just random talking and stuff like that. Yeah, might as well just catch up. But once I get this off that drive, I'm gonna put it up there for y'all. And another thing too, this could be a reason why uh this could also be a reason why they talking about leaving Earth so bad. Oh, and I got something to show y'all as well. Let me check my email real quick. See if I emailed this picture over. No, I didn't. All right, let me email this picture over real quick. Remember, right? Me and B in like a couple of the earlier episodes, me and B was talking about why the heck, like in all these years and stuff, they still got that same bull crap. What's going on? Why it's not popping up for me? Okay, there you go. One. Nah, I just need the other one to pop up. Anyway, but me and B was talking about in the early episodes since they've been talking about going to the moon and stuff. Why haven't they changed any rockets, and why the rockets still look the same? And you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't do nothing special to none of the rockets and shit. But of course, going through the wormhole, going through the wormhole. Look what yeah, look what I end up finding. This motherfucker Elon, boy, I'll tell you, Elon is dangerous, bruh. Now, only thing I'm gonna say about that is, right, we seen what the previous rocket ships and stuff look like. From back in the day all the way up until now, we seen that's why. We seen why the rocket ships look how they are, and we seen what the rocket ships are. Now, this this so-called spacecraft, whatever that can only exist in the stars, to me, that shit looks like some type of torpedo or like a rocket, like something that looks like something is that look like something that is gonna explode, like you shoot that out like a projectile type thing situation. Like you send that out of like a Black Hawk or some shit. Like look at it. What kind of cylinder? Like, and okay, now of course the picture's small, and we know that this thing is. Oh snap! Naeem in here. My bad, Naeem. Uh,
Oh, you good?
we know that this thing is way bigger than what the picture's actually showing us. But it's just the fact that this again, this is not a big change from the rockets they've been shooting up there. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big change. Don't have it's flat at the top. It look like it got some satellites. I don't know what the fuck that could be on the sides of them things. But what I'm saying is that doesn't look like a rocket for traveling. That look like a rocket for explosion, for damage, for yeah, for so called breaking through the barrier.
And we got to keep in mind that there's more than one type of rocket. Most of the time, things are not all purpose. It's not like, 12 in one shampoo. Like
Mhm.
they have rockets for seeding. People don't ever talk about cloud seeding. People don't ever talk about, research, satellites. It's all type of rockets for certain type of things. The rockets that uh intercept.
Hmm.
certain, type of things. So it there is no all purpose when it comes to especially rockets. That's why they got that saying, it's not rocket science. Rocket science is a thing. Most people aren't even qualified to speak on fucking basic elementary school science, let alone what the hell they doing at NASA.
Hmm. You,
So yeah, it's all type of stuff.
you know what I found interesting was that, remember we was talking about Ocean X shit and all that, and it exploded. Somebody just went down there and seen that shit. Like they just traveled down there and seen it. I seen the video, but I don't know why I'll be thinking about these things at the time, but yeah, that joint was crazy, bro. Like they really went down there and seen. So it is, my question is, how did these people manage to travel all the way down there without blowing up and shit?
Because they have the technology. They always had the technology. This isn't like a new discovery. This isn't modern technology going to the ocean floor. That's how they were even able to map the continental shelf, let alone even deeper than that.
Nah, you're right, and that's so it leads to believe, like anybody else would say, bruh, that's a hit. That's some type of hit. That's some type of a scheme covered up. Yeah, I mean, y'all just trying to play around with the shit, bruh. Like, come on now. We in this shit don't just have. I said that. I said that, bro. I said, bro, this this joint screams like a hit or some crazy shit, or like just some dumbass insurance scheme or something, some crazy shit like that. Because I done seen fucking vehicles go in the Bermuda Triangle and shit. I done seen motherfucking. I showed the video of the all different kinds of submarines and shit like that that go down deep like that, from our country to Japan to Russia to all different types of countries, bruh.
Another thing to keep in mind is most, if not all, I want to say all, but I don't want to say all because that's a little too definite. I'm going to say most technology has been created for the military and defense. Even things that people don't think about, like the internet. The internet was not for civilian use. When the internet was invented and it came out way back when, back in the gap before people even had computers, the internet was for intelligence and information storing and things like that. It was not meant to be something for civilians to use. It just happens to be that, like, because these things. Hold on.
Mm. Not.
Sorry, I'm at the bank. But these are not things that are meant for us. Like, we weren't supposed to get these things. It just happens that, the government things, I don't want to say stuff got so out of control that they didn't have a choice, but it got to the point that it would have just been easier to just release it, because I have a theory that these things have been released for surveillance purposes. Because what reason would you need to have the internet for? And it's easy to say. It's hard to say that because we grew up with these things. We
Mm.
grew up with the ability to, you had a landline, contact mom, contact dad, contact family. You wasn't walking around with a cell phone. I grew up with cell phones being, commonplace, but not really as common as they are today. Like, kids kill their parents over phones now. So
Hmm.
it's like there was no what other reason aside from them having these long drawn out plans would it be for this technology to exist? because I believe that again, these things they have these elaborate plans that go on for generations and generations and generations. And see, unlike us, they can wait. They don't mind waiting 70 years because I don't know if you saw, but CERN just celebrated their 70-year anniversary. They don't mind waiting 70 years to send a hurricane through some abnormal path, and you just thinking like, oh, climate control, oh, climate crisis, or whatever,
Mhm.
climate change. You think it's climate change, whole time it's manipulation through the weather. Because how in on God's green earth can you control the weather? And yeah, there's things like you put too much exhaust into the air and things start blowing up and all this stuff, or not blowing up, but it gets too hot and this cause and effect. But it's like all this technology was never meant to get to the point where you had access to it,
Mhm.
especially things like the internet. You don't have access to the rocket. You can't even have a drone without having a permit, and this is something that you use, that you would buy your kid for Christmas at one point. Oh, your son say he want a drone. You would buy him a drone to, like a. Oh man, they done they big one with the fake airplanes that we before we used to have. You like now you can take pictures and GoPro cam. Like you can't even have that without a permit. And all of the drones, when you get them, they got spyware and all type of stuff on them. So it's like you was not meant to have this stuff,
They
and they gotta
monitoring everything.
they gotta get you used to it over a period of time. Because I remember when I was a small child, I remember when self checkout was being rolled out. I talk about this all the time, and how 100% of people rejected self checkout. Nobody likes self checkout. They were like, why would I want to ring my own groceries up at the store? I might as well get a job here. I'm not trying to be bothered with that. And they was like, okay, cool. 20 years later, you'll be hard pressed to go to a store and there's somebody in there.
Mhm.
Even at a grocery store, they have self checkouts. So it's like these people have time and they can wait and they can just get you used to it. Another thing was when remember when cable used to be a cord that you had to stick into your TV. I remember when they said, "Okay, guys, this is the date where we're getting rid of the cords, the coaxials." Oh, okay. Well, and then they come back with another date. Well, your TV just not gonna work because we completely cutting that off. You get this digital TV and you get down, or you don't have nothing.
Right.
And what did everybody do? They had to go and do it. So this is the stuff that pops into my mind when I see this type of technology. I'm gonna let you go on with your show, but this is what I was gonna say. I don't know how close you are to talking about that hurricane that just hit and went on that crazy path. But there's a city. It's called what's the name of that city? I think it's called like Spruce something. Hold on, I have a map. Let me pull it up right quick. The name of the city
Send it to
is
me.
Okay, yeah, the name of the city is Spruce Pine. That's outside of that Asheville that's completely underwater right now.
Man, hey, you gonna talk about that?
Connected to the car. It don't know what it's gonna do. Okay, I'm sending you the map.
All right.
Okay, I
Nah,
had to get it off. I had to
we
get it
gonna
off the
talk
car
about
because
that
it was on.
because
But this is what I was gonna say about that because you might have more details than me at this point. Let me pull up your name, ACOG Club. All
now
right.
first I told you to come in because that hurricane is going with what I'm talking about. So I'm
Okay.
ready. Yeah, I'm
So
ready to. Yeah, I'm ready to go into it. So I need. That's why I say yes.
I
Come
just
on,
sent you the
man.
map.
All right.
It's called Spruce Pine. Now, people don't know about this city, Spruce Pine, because North Carolina is it's an important place for a lot of reasons that it's silly, but it's a very important place on this planet. And the reason why Spruce Pine is important is because Spruce Pine is the capital of where the quartz is grown or the quartz is mined and all that stuff for those semiconductor chips. They produce 100% of the silicon that goes onto those chips. So, my bad, these motherfuckers can't drive. They produce
Take your time.
100% of the silica that goes on those chips. With that whole area being completely underwater, that place, you can't get into these places unless you're going by air at this point because of this hurricane. This isn't a place on the coast. This is severely inland for North Carolina. Like this is west in North Carolina. I'm I don't want to make a prediction, but I'm going to say if this is not resolved within the next really 30 days, we got about 6 months before the economy go to shit. And not just our economy, the world. Because this is the place that is making it so these chips can even work. And chips aren't everything. Your car, they got chips in the toothbrush. They got chips in the refrigerator. Everything has a chip. Everything is online. Everything needs these small little powerhouses to work. Traffic lights,
Mm-hmm.
the stove in your house, the lights on your vehicle. Every single thing that you can even think of has a chip in it nowadays. On the planet, not here, not in just North Carolina, not the East Coast, the planet. And being that the map I sent you, that place is 100% blocked. You can't even get to it. All the cities surrounding Asheville are underwater. Asheville is underwater right now. The only place in Asheville that has Wi-Fi is the public library. Support your public
Mm.
libraries. People should be going there anyway. But this is not looking. This is looking. This is like the worst case scenario. And it's not just worst case scenario for us or what happened is happening to them. It's worst case scenario because I'm telling you, 6 months. If by the end of October this is not resolved, like up going, factory moving, chips being made and all this other stuff, the pieces or whatever, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. The you're gonna start seeing it, and it's only gonna go downhill from there.
Nah,
And it
for
might,
real.
and it might sound like, oh, semiconductor chip, they make them in Taiwan. Okay, the factories are in Taiwan. The pieces come from other places, and when they done put 100% of the most important component of these chips in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. And this is like, not to go into conspiracy land so heavy, but this is the kind of stuff that will make you be like, bro, like how the hell did the hurricane get into the west like that? I always thought when the hurricane hit, by the time it hit land, it was dying down because it didn't have no power to feed on. It didn't have no water to feed on, so it wasn't no, you know,
Yeah.
that's how it used to be. Like, so you thinking like, oh man, it's done hit the west, it's done shot up through the middle of Georgia. We used to Savannah and places like that, but Atlanta
Nah,
and
fuck.
all these other places, like, excuse me. So it's like you might think, not you, but other people that don't understand global logistics, international logistics, economics, and how this pertains to your life, and you think because you rich or you doing good or you broke that this is not going to have an effect. Like, no, this is going to hurt 100% of this planet, and it's going to be so bad, like that's going to send us into a spiral that we might not be able to recover from.
Nah, but you not throw, bro. You not throw because especially with the chips and all that stuff. Because I just want to put this up here real quick. Yeah, I mean for the people who think that like what we say about nanobots and nano chips and them tracking you through these chips and all that shit is just throwed off and crazy. Now look at this. It say for the first time, scientists had stored a copy of humanity's genetic blueprint inside a near indestructible 5D memory crystal.
This is insane. What the fuck? Like,
That
See what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna read
Shit
it
like
again.
this.
I'm gonna
Like,
read it. I'm gonna read it again just in case I read it too fast and it went over your head. Hold up. Now, for the first time, scientists have stored a copy of humanity's genetic blueprint inside a near indestructible 5D memory crystal.
and what you think they're gonna do with that? And it's it's so crazy because it's like for as long as y'all been having this channel and we've been talking about these throwed or semi-throwed obscure things, it's just like every day it's like these people are laughing in our face, showing us we just do what we want to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can do what we want. We gonna play with something that you should not be playing with. Like there's one thing of, oh man, we made discoveries in modern medicine where we found this plant in the Himalayas that could da da da. Like, okay, the plant was there, you found it. That came from the earth. Okay, cool. But then you start getting into stuff like cocaine, where you're like, yes, this plant come from the earth, but look what you're doing to manipulate it and turn it into something severe and crazy. And now you want to get into our body. I'm telling you, they want to get into our bodies. They want to chip us. They want to Neuralink us all. They want to manipulate our DNA. And the minute you don't comply, what happened? Your head blow up, or your body just start working. Like
Real
seriously, and
talk.
it sounds
Real
crazy, but
talk.
every time you come on this motherfucker, I'm like, what the fuck is this man? Where's you finding this shit? Like what is going on? That's
Time
not
out,
crazy.
nine. Time out, nine. Now, picture. Now, what you just said about the plants, right? You go up in the Himalayas and you find these plants and you start fucking with them, right? Now, watch this. Now, this how this shit works, and I'm glad that you on here and God put you on here for a reason because you came with you don't even know what I got in store, and I'm ready to fuck your head up right now. Now watch this shit. Let me remove this. And we gonna listen to this real quick. It's about 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes. We're gonna listen to this 3 minutes real quick.
Researchers have just launched a late-stage clinical trial on a whole new kind of COVID-19 vaccine, one that's grown in plants. They're looking for volunteers in San Diego. We're going in depth on what you might call
Y'all, y'all hear this shit? All right, now. I gotta pause it because fucking Naeem just said it. Just said, yeah, I mean, like, bro, they go up in the fucking Himalayas so damn way and find some fucking random plants, and these plants, they start off with good intentions, but then here comes the humans. Let's just rewind that back a little bit.
Researchers have just launched a late-stage clinical trial on a whole new kind of COVID-19 vaccine, one that's grown in plants. They're looking for volunteers in San Diego. We're going in depth on what you might call the world's first vegan vaccine. Medicago's manufacturing facility looks like a nursery, but inside these plants, they're growing a new kind of vaccine, one that's now being tested in volunteers around the U.S., including in San Diego.
They can grow this material very fast.
Dr. Dennis Tarakchian is leading the local arm of the trial at the Medical Center for Clinical Research.
It's a two-shot administration 21 days apart.
He says this vaccine doesn't need to be frozen like the ones from Pfizer and Moderna, so it's easier to transport and store. It's refrigerated at the same temperatures as the shot from Johnson & Johnson, but it uses entirely different technology. The vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna contain little bubbles of genetic instructions that prompt your cells to make a fragment of the virus. Instead of a fragment, Medicago uses plants to grow particles that look like the entire coronavirus. Just check it out under a microscope.
The whole point is that it looks like a virus to your immune system so that you develop a really nice, robust response against it. But it is not a virus. So in and of itself, it cannot cause disease.
The technology is called a virus-like particle. The FDA approved the first vaccines using the platform in the 1980s.
What the fuck is a virus-like particle, bro?
A virus like Or see, this is what I'm saying. Vegan vaccine. And you know, when they say, "Oh, we're looking for volunteers," you're going into the prison, and you're gonna get
Right.
those people, and you want to stand in my face, talking about volunteers, so we can think, "Oh, this person volunteered," because they know they volunteer because they're a prisoner. And this is another reason why y'all need to stay free. Like, it's
Real
no,
talk.
you don't have
No.
any fucking rights. They do all type of quote animal testing. They make you feel like, cause like, be serious, when you think about these vaccines and all these things and medicine and makeup and food and stuff, how is testing something on a rat gonna tell you about a human being?
Mhm.
Okay, they got lungs and they got kidneys and all this stuff, but you not a rat.
Mhm.
When they say animal testing, they're talking about prisoners. If you know
Now,
what's good for you, you'll stay free.
shouts out to B. Shouts out to B, because we did it live, and we was talking about the lab grown meat, and B made the he made the correlation, the connection. Like, bruh, you know it's crazy that Vitapro is pushing this shit. And back when I was locked up, we used to get our meals from a company called Vitapro. And I'm like, see what I'm saying, bro? So they been practicing this shit, yo. They been giving it to y'all, and bro, see what I'm saying? So whole
When I
time they
was a
talk about
kid,
horse meat, nah, this lab grown meat.
you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob with the holographic meatloaf? When I was a
Mhm.
kid, I was like, we got our first printer. And I was like, it's only a matter of time before you able to print food. Because if scratch and sniff exists, how long before you can just print some food? All of a sudden, you can get a 3D printer for, $500. And you can put all type of stuff in there. Now, how long before they say go, or you can't even go to the store, or if Amazon rules supreme how they want to, go to your local Amazon outlet and get your meat film, and stick it in your 3D printer and print your food.
Hmm.
Your meat film made out
It'd
of
be a whole slab.
crickets and goddamn
Yeah,
like,
nah, for real. That should be a thick ass slab, probably like a foot long and shit. And they be like, yeah, so slide this inside you. You know how you slide the paper at the bottom and shit. Like, if you slide the
yeah.
meat down that bitch, and then, yeah, nah, I'm
It's
with you. I
funny, but
know.
it's for real. Like, I'm like, that's when I was a kid. I wasn't even 10 years old, looking at the printer like, it's on why it's only a matter of time before they be like, let's just print food. Because that'll solve so many. You ain't gotta leave your house. Your house already a prison. They want you stuck in the house on YouTube, stuck in your house on all these websites that rot your brain. Don't leave the house. Order your groceries instead of going and picking them out yourself. Now, it's some good to that, because you might be disabled or something might have happened to you, and that's what those services should be for.
Mhm.
But we got regular able-bodied adults weighing 500 pounds in the house. They won't even go get their fast food. Food fries cold as a bitch. You done paid $50 for some cold fries,
Right,
and
you
that.
throwing them in the microwave, trying to warm it back up.
But this is where the world is going, and they keep going. When is it going to stop? And this is why we're in this space of biblical proportions, where things is just falling apart and can't nobody do nothing about it.
Hmm.
This junk is crazy. I'm gonna let you rock because I need to run into the stove. I don't know what it's gonna sound
Go
like
ahead.
in here, but I'll be back.
All right.
All right, peace.
For hepatitis B. But the big breakthrough happened in the late 2000s when regulators licensed 2 vaccines for human papillomavirus, or HPV, says Dr. Peter Chinhong of UC San Francisco.
In the HPV world, it's done wonders. It's gone gangbusters, more than 90% efficacy in HPV. So they're hoping that it will do the same in COVID.
Medicago says its COVID vaccine could become the first of its kind grown in plants. Past virus-like particle vaccines were grown in bacteria or yeast. A small phase 1 study found this COVID vaccine produced 10 times as many antibodies compared to people infected with the real coronavirus. The challenge now will be enrolling enough volunteers for a 30,000 person trial. Anyone 16 and up can now book a vaccination appointment in California.
Just because we have something today doesn't necessarily mean we can't find something better tomorrow.
Dr. Tarakjian says we need as many vaccine options as possible to fight off variants.
It's an opportunity for you to be a part of a cutting edge technology and be the solution to a problem that is devastating this whole world.
So for this phase 3 study, researchers are looking for adults 18 and older who have not gotten a COVID-19 vaccine and who have not gotten COVID itself. Medicago has teamed up with GlaxoSmithKline on this, and they're hoping to complete this trial and submit the results to regulators later this year.
Man, these niggas is bugged out, bruh. First of all, bruh, nobody's fitting to just. I don't think nobody is willing to just be like, bro, yeah, give me COVID, bro. I don't care if it was plant-based, yeast-based, sugar-based. Shit, I don't care if it was their favorite drug-based, cocaine-based, crack-based. I don't care. I don't think nobody's just willing to just be like, yeah, come test on me and give me corona to see how my body is gonna react to it. Like, y'all better chance putting some money on the line, because volunteer is not sounding good enough. Like, you gonna have to put some money on the line. You want people to actually do that. But like I said, I'm glad Naeem came into the building, because this is a lot of the stuff that she was saying is what I'm ready to get into. You know. Oh snap! Let's present this first. Now, I've been talking about the skies lately, and I've been talking about how, you know, the moon, I mean not the moon, the Saturn is losing its ring. I already said the moon losing its ring. Saturn losing its ring. We won't be able to see that. We got a second moon coming. Which is supposed to be here. Matter of fact, it's supposed to have been here last night. And I was watching it. I was watching the countdown to the moon arrival, but I ended up falling asleep. I've been talking about that. This is something else that going through the wormhole I had found, and this was 2 days ago. Now recently they said that we got a message was received 8 billion light years away or some shit like that, and it hit Earth, and we picked that signal up. And then I showed y'all a video of one of the astronauts being stuck out there in space, and what it sounded like a sonar was kind of like he was picking up a sonar signal. And now what I was saying was, like, how do we know that the sonar signal that he was getting through his speaker, was it something actually tracking him? And then I like to further that, then we get a message. You feel what I'm saying? Like he's been out there in space for a minute. Then he gets a sonar, and then now a message come through. From where? Where this message come through? So now on the 28th, which was 2 days ago, black hole shot a beam through space. NASA snapped the stunning footage. Is that a beam, or is that trails of something actually coming through that motherfucker? into our atmosphere, into our universe, or whatever this space we in. Because we know when we see like movies and stuff like that, they they leave a trail behind once they break through a certain little thing. They leave a trail, or if they getting sucked in, but that's not something that looks like it's being sucked in. They actually said it's shot out, so which means to tell me something had came through. What came through, and why did it come through after we get a quote unquote message, and then after this motherfucker was stuck in space and picked up this so-called sonar beacon or whatever. See what I'm saying? But they don't tell you this shit though. They ain't telling you this. Now, it's just something that I find odd. We're going through, you know what I'm saying, looking at stuff. I'm putting two and two together. That's all I'm doing. I'm saying what I'm saying and I'm putting this stuff together. Now, all this stuff is happening. Mind you, that black hole thing, we're still in September. It's not even October yet. Like, we're still in September. So much shit is happening in September. I think we need to go back and pay attention to all the stuff that has happened and transpired in September. Now, looking at this, you know, the atmosphere shifted. Now, unpredicted ozone over the Arctic. Does this have something to do with the new moon? Does this have something to do with all these comets flying past? And like we have another one coming. We don't. It's not just like I said. It's not just that one that just came past on the 17th. We have some more coming. So could this be one of them reasons why we have all this so-called unpredicted ozone? Now you said hurricanes, unpredictable hurricanes. Like, come on now. Look at all this rain we've been having for what, the last couple days, like this, I think like this whole week, for real. And some of last week. I think it started last week. Started last week into this week. Look at all this rain. It's a lot of rain. Where did it just randomly start? Where did it just randomly come from? Now, I'm only saying that to say this. I mentioned the same way the stars align and everything goes good. What happens when them stars is not aligned and they're out of whack and shit? I said that. Now, and if we believe that the sun goes around and the moon is there and all this stuff, we believe in all that, right? Okay. Let's listen to this.
This is why I have said the dates that they are giving us are incorrect. We used to have 13 months, 28 days, and 1 day of rest, even in the Bible. So look, we have 13 lunar cycles of 28 days, 13 zodiac signs. Every turtle shell you'll find, 13 sections in the middle, and 28 notches along the side, all to keep us disconnected from these natural cycles of our realm. Listen to David Strait explain it more.
our calendar is not quite right. We're supposed to have 13 months of 28 days, with one day, the day of resurrection, Easter, as a neutral day. That's our 365 days. We've actually got 13 constellations, not 12.
He said we got 13 constellations, not 12.
This same calendar.
I could have sworn constellations got to do with stars and shit.
This same calendar is very close to the Mayan calendar, but it's also very close.
All right. Mayan calendar. Right? Now, we would have to actually order one of these to actually be able to break it down. But I'm pretty sure each one of these notches symbol something. Either the time of the day, what day you're on, yeah, I mean what month and what year. I'm pretty sure this is what that means. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Mayan expert, so I can't. Like I said, I would have to order one of these to break it down. But the next one he gonna talk about is this one. This is what they call the sand calendar. Something I forget. He gonna mention it, but basically the same difference. So why are we just now finding out? And then to further that, why did they just now say we have 13 signs? So they added a 13 sign. Remember he said we got 13 constellations. They added a 13th sign, but they squeezed it in between November 30th and December the 17th. Is it the 13 signs because we have 13 months? And if we have 13 months, then what year are we really on? See, we need to pay attention how they. I'm saying all this because we gonna get to the storms and all that stuff, and what's going on. But I'm saying that to say this, right? Like I said, when the stars are aligned, stuff goes good. But when the stars are out of whack, the planets are out of whack, stuff happens. So we are in the time where maybe the planets are resetting. This is why we have so much chaos and confusion and so much stuff happening at this point in time.
Close to several ancient Sanskrit calendars. What does sept mean? 7. I thought that was the 9th month. What does oct mean? What does nov mean? What does dec mean? It's supposed to be the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month. Jan is 11. Feb is 12. March is 13. April is our first month. Babies are born in the spring, the 1st of April, Easter. This is the start of our new year. It's the start of spring when the flowers start coming up, the grass starts coming up, the trees start leafing out, the babies are born. That's the first day. Our neutral day, day 1, the day we rest and celebrate the resurrection, the new beginning, the beginning of Christ. April is month 1.
April is month 1, but April is Fool's Day. So why would they call it April Fool's Day? Because they've been fooling us all. Like you said, spring happens in April. April is the sign. Spring is the sign of a new beginning, a new life. What happens? You go throughout the year, everything dies out. In the wintertime, spring is the blossom of new flowers, new life, fresh leaves on the plants. That happens in April. April Fool's Day. They've been playing us the whole time. Can't how you squeeze in 13 signs in 12 months? Don't make sense. You would need 13 months. You would need 13 months. So we working on 13 months, 28 days. Twelve and 30. 12 and 30, 31, 28. How February the only month with 28? Because they squeezed all the other days into 31, 30, 31, 30, so they can get more work time out of you. I heard somebody say that. And it makes now that I'm thinking about it, it's making sense. How do we get more work time out the people without having to pay them more? Because if it was 13 months, would they have to pay you more? Once you have less days of work? Hmm. But that goes with, because he said, like you said, celestial. That goes with what we're talking about. Their calendar was the sky. Their calendar was the sky. Every time something happened, they was clocking the sky. This moon goes around this time. So every time I see this particular kind of moon, I know this amount of time has passed. That's how they've been finding out about uh certain shit happening, catastrophes and shit like that. It's because if you had 28 days, you probably wouldn't have a leap year. It still don't make sense. Yeah, I mean, one every other year or some shit like that. You got 29. Like, come on, bro. Nah, bro. They been scamming. They scamming us. They've been scamming the whole time. But no, we been working off a sky calendar. Like that's what we need to see. If we want to know the real measurements of time, this is why they give us clocks and all this bullshit. If we want to measure the real measurements of time, we need to go off the sun. We need to go off the sun when it starts, when it sets, when the how long the moon is. All right, we see crescent moon on this side, this side, this side. This all right. This lets me know we in this time of the year. Oh yeah, we keep getting this moon, so we in this time of the year. This one we in this time of the year. Like, come on. Oh yeah, full moon, boom, bright and blue. Oh yeah, it's a reset. Like this how they judge the time. Let's get let's get into this next video real quick because I gotta be headed out to go get these kids. But let's get into this next video real quick.
Right, hurtling towards the Earth is something real-life scientists are preparing for at NASA. They're refining the plan because in a few short years, a space rock could come quite close.
Apophis is the closest thing we know about to an asteroid that could really give us a bad day. This thing would wipe out a city, no problem. I really believe that astronauts or the space scientists are figuring this stuff out.
The countdown has begun, with NASA scientists now paying serious attention to a possible asteroid impact on Earth. As we already know that the asteroid Apophis will pass very close to the Earth in the next few years, and astronomers around the world are waiting to capture this rare astronomical event. But recently, scientists have expressed a concern. Recently, NASA has revealed that they are conducting an exercise to prepare for upcoming devastating asteroid impact. They also warned that recent calculations have shown that an asteroid is heading towards Earth, and there is a 72% chance that it will hit the Earth. In this video, we will find out why NASA scientists are suddenly worried about an impending asteroid impact, and what steps have they taken to avoid this catastrophic disaster.
We want to be able to get a spacecraft out there weeks to months to get a look at Apophis before that close encounter with the Earth.
Apophis is an asteroid that was discovered on June 19, 2004, by astronomers Roy A. Tucker, David J. Tholen, and Fabrizio Bernardi. It measures approximately 370 meters in diameter, which is about the size of 3.5 football fields. This makes it a relatively large asteroid, and if it were to collide with Earth, it could cause significant damage. Apophis is expected to make a particularly close approach to Earth on April 13, 2029. This date is significant because the asteroid will come closer to Earth than many of our satellites that orbit the planet. At its closest, Apophis will be within about 3,1000 kilometers of Earth's surface. To put that into perspective, that's roughly 1/10 the distance between Earth and the Moon. This will be the closest that an asteroid of this size has come to Earth in recorded history, and it will be visible to the naked eye in some parts of the world, appearing as a fast-moving point of light. As of now, Apophis is far from Earth, traveling through space in its orbit around the Sun. Its exact position changes constantly due to its high speed and the gravitational influences of other celestial bodies. Scientists track its position using powerful telescopes and radar observations to ensure they have accurate data on its trajectory. When Apophis was first discovered, there was significant concern that it could collide with Earth in 2029. Initial calculations suggested a small but real possibility of impact. However, with more observations and refined calculations, scientists have determined that Apophis will not hit Earth in 2029. The risk of an impact in 2029 has been completely ruled out, and current models show that Apophis will pass safely by Earth. However, its close approach will provide scientists with a unique opportunity to study the asteroid up close, which could help improve our understanding of such near-Earth objects. While Apophis will not impact Earth in 2029, scientists continue to monitor it closely. There is a possibility that its orbit could be slightly altered by Earth's gravity during the 2029 encounter, which might affect future approaches. One particular date of interest is April 13, 2036, when Apophis will make another close approach. If Apophis's orbit is significantly affected by Earth's gravity in 2029, its next close approach in 2036 could pose a threat to Earth. But the question is, are we prepared for this? If humans identify a dangerous asteroid long enough before impact, we could theoretically do something to divert it. NASA recently conducted a hypothetical exercise to assess the planet's preparedness against an asteroid impact. The exercise simulated a scenario where an asteroid previously undetected due to its orbit around the Sun was on a collision course with Earth. The asteroid, estimated to be large enough to cause substantial regional damage, was projected to strike the planet in 2038. Participants were told the asteroid was between 60 and 800 meters across, with a 72% chance of hitting Earth, with 6 months before more details about the meteor could be obtained from telescopes. Despite the 14 years warning time, the exercise concluded that humanity is currently ill-equipped to prevent such a disaster. Initial observations were not sufficient to determine the asteroid's size, composition, or precise trajectory. Complicating matters, the asteroid was expected to pass behind the Sun, rendering it unobservable for a critical 7-month period. The exercise highlighted several key challenges in planetary defense. One of the primary issues is the limited capability to deflect or disrupt an asteroid on short notice. Current technologies, such as kinetic impactors or nuclear devices, require years of development and testing before they can be considered viable options. Additionally, international collaboration and coordination are crucial, as the impact of an asteroid would have global consequences. The recent exercise serves as a wake-up call for the global community to prioritize planetary defense. It is a reminder that the threat of an asteroid impact, though infrequent, is real.
Man, it's why they try and get off this planet, bruh. They understand. They understand. They trying to get off this planet, bruh. By any means necessary, bruh. They trying to find any way to get their ass off of this planet, bruh. Cause they understand, like, worst case scenario, if a media do come close to hitting and even scraping, like I said on the last slide, if a media comes and scrape Earth, bruh, that's hundreds of I'm gonna say hundreds of million. Now I'm probably say 100 million people easily gone. How many people are Earth, bro? I know we probably got a billion somewhere. I think it's a billion. So if a media scrape Earth, scrape it. That's so many. That's so much chain reaction deaths. That's what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be the media actually taking no people out. It's gonna be chain reaction from the media hitting. All them people going all the people gonna die. They know they not equipped for that shit. They know they can't handle that. It's why they trying to leave Earth fast as they can. Look, they trying to find different worlds to go travel to. They trying to inhabit somewhere else. Yeah, we seen the Earth that looks inhabitable. It has planets. Some we calling it a super Earth. They got joints out here. They trying to call super Earths. Where it's at? Oh, this here go the signal. Mysterious signal. Boom. Told you. Told y'all. And then let's see, something shoots out a black hole. Come on now. Like this shit, bruh. We better pay attention to these skies. Start opening our mind up to the possibilities of what could happen, instead of keep saying, "Oh no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. It'll never happen." But they talked about the Earth poles is shifting. With the Earth pole shifting, different shit happens. What and we've been living glorious weather and all this stuff, and them Earth poles shift, and we go into a fucking state of Arctic, like straight Arctic. Are y'all prepared for that? Y'all prepared for that? Arctic weather brings Arctic creatures, and you gotta adapt to Arctic weather and shit. Like 24-hour cold. Are you prepared for 24-hour cold? There's people that can survive 24-hour cold. I don't think we're suited in the United States to go through 24-hour cold. This is crazy.
And requires proactive measures to ensure the safety of our planet. Earth's most recent brush with asteroid danger was 8 years ago, when a space rock the size of a 6-story building came seemingly out of nowhere. The Chelyabinsk meteor was a small asteroid about the size of a 6-story building that broke up over the city of Chelyabinsk, Russia, on February 15, 2013. The blast was stronger than a nuclear explosion, triggering detections from monitoring stations as far away as Antarctica. The shock wave it generated shattered glass and injured about 1,200 people. Some scientists think the meteor was so bright it may have briefly outshone the sun. The incident was another reminder to space agencies about the importance.
That was in the sky. That was just in the sky. You see what I'm saying? That was just like, and in the sky, nowhere near Earth. Like the surface level. Nowhere near the surface level. Like, just imagine if that joint would have impacted at that speed. Like,
Of monitoring small bodies in space that could pose a threat to Earth. Well, learning from this, we have recently successfully tracked an asteroid impact. A recent encounter with a small asteroid over Germany, which was successfully predicted and tracked by the agency's Scout Impact Hazard Assessment System, demonstrated the capability to monitor such objects. The asteroid, designated 2024 BX1, disintegrated harmlessly in Earth's atmosphere, but served as a practical demonstration of NASA's planetary defense capabilities. But the recently conducted hypothetical international planetary defense exercise raises concerns over how we would deal with a real asteroid crisis. NASA's planetary defense officer, Emeritus Lindley Johnson's takeaway from the exercise was that we need as much information about asteroid size and trajectory as possible to avoid the practical problems created by uncertainty. It also indicates that there is still a lot of work to do in terms of international preparation for these types of celestial disasters.
yeah, they are. They getting the fuck out of here. They trying to leave us. They said we ain't dealing with that shit. We out of here. We out of here on y'all. Y'all can have that. We gonna find this super Earth. We gonna break through this firmament. We ain't worried about none of that. Don't even trip. We getting up out of here. We need some volunteers to get in this shuttle. Yeah, man. Go out there and see if they can be the next Christopher Columbus. Right. You already know what's gonna happen if we get on a planet with some creatures and shit on there. Oh yeah, we wiping them out. We need this land. Make some bullshit up. They try to hit us with some alien venom or some shit. Yeah, then we gonna take their ass out. Come on now. We know how yeah, me and America get down. Stop playing. Hold on. but this, let me see if I can bring this up here. Might got a little bit of time. I want y'all to see this. This
is a
from
fact.
Atlas, bro.
As the planet warms up, ice will melt, ocean waters expand, and storms become.
This from Atlas Pro on YouTube. It's not the whole video. I'll put the link in there. But yeah, I wanted y'all to see this.
Form on the coast is why we'll see the nearby Mississippi River Delta submitting more and more to the ocean each. Form on the coast is why.
Okay, hold up.
Energetic, altogether pushing more. This is a fact. As the planet warms up, ice will melt, ocean waters expand, and storms become more energetic, altogether pushing more water onto land than ever before. While the degree to which sea levels rise is still highly dependent on the action we take now and in the immediate future, elevation maps are old news, so we don't need to wait to see what will happen if we don't reverse our carbon output. From the year 1900 to 2016, the ocean rose by approximately 21 centimeters, while the human population rose from 1.5 billion to over 7 billion, and carbon emissions went from 2 billion tons to 36 billion tons annually. All this means is that we're going to observe even greater increases in sea level year after year for the rest of the century, with estimates of a 38 centimeter rise by 2100, which by my calculations should be near the end of yours and my lifetime. Meaning these are the lands that we all have to worry about right now. Now,
What's up, Zay? How you feeling? Zay in the building.
before I get started, I find it important to note that the process of flooding a coast, just like all other natural processes, will be a gradual one. Nowhere is just going to flood overnight, but rather storm after storm will wear down on the coast and wash away any loose ground until finally, when the storm surge recedes, we'll find less land where there previously had been. Now, it's pretty arbitrary where we start on this one, so let's just begin by looking at North America. After all, it's here that the United States has historically emitted more total greenhouse gases than any other country. Plus, it's here that we'll get a nice introduction to all of the different landforms that fall most vulnerable to the rising sea. Looking at Florida on our elevation map, we'll find essentially the entire peninsula sitting flat and low. This is the result of how the Florida landmass was constructed, as the millions of shells of dead sea creatures fell to the ocean floor and piled on top of one another, they slowly cemented under their own pressure into one solid limestone deposit, the bedrock of the peninsula. The only problem with this type of land formation is that it depends on gravity to distribute where the shells collect, and since gravity prefers perfect spheres, this produces an incredibly flat landscape. This explains why over half of the Florida peninsula is already underwater, and how even the smallest increase in sea levels can drastically alter the peninsula's standing against the ocean.
Now, it was this thing that a lot of the elites are building these bunkers because they understand it's going to be some type of catastrophic flood that's going to happen later in the years. You see what I'm saying? So, not saying this has anything to do with it. I'm just saying that they understand there's going to be some catastrophic flood, and a lot of this stuff is going to happen because climate change, pole shifting, the water rising. They're going to Florida right now. I think they say a couple feet above sea level, 10 feet or some shit like that. I can't remember what they said, but they in the flood right now as we speak, and millions of people is without power. You mean, like, as we speak. So, like I said, climate change, pole shifting, meteors keep flying past a second moon. influx in rain and influx in weather and stuff like that. Like, come on now. You think a second moon just randomly popping up is not going to affect the weather? It's not going to affect people's moods and people's cycles and stuff like that. Like, come on now. We already not going off the right calendar. We seen that it's supposed to be 13 months, 28 days, but we got 13 signs in 12 months. How does that work?
The nearby Bahama banks were built in a similar way, only the carbonate sediments here didn't have as much foundational bedrock as those in Florida, resulting in an even more submerged limestone shelf. Even more so than Florida, the Bahamas sit directly in the path of hurricanes, which, as they continue to grow in magnitude and frequency, will only accelerate the demise of these islands. Fortunately, these types of limestone landforms are kind of rare. Unfortunately, a far more common method of building land against the ocean is through river sediment deposition. You see, as rainwater becomes runoff, it picks up a lot of loose soil and rocks along its way to the ocean. This sediment load stays suspended in the fast-moving river water until something like reaching the ocean slows it down and allows all the dirt to settle out. This is how river deltas are constructed, which just so happen to be some of humanity's favorite places to set up camp. The only problem is, again, gravity, which dictates where these sediments fall and therefore again results in an exceedingly flat landscape. This, combined with the fact that river deltas by nature form on the coast, is why we'll see the nearby Mississippi River Delta submitting more and more to the ocean each year. To make matters worse, all that sediment that built up the delta must have come from somewhere, usually having eroded from the banks of the river itself, carving out a nice channel.
Hold on.
See the nearby Mississippi River Delta submitting more and more to the ocean each year. To make matters worse, all that sediment that built up the delta must have come from somewhere, usually having eroded from the banks of the river itself, carving out a nice channel for ocean water to push even deeper into Louisiana and destroying some of the country's most productive farmland in the process. Cornfields and Disney World aren't the only things at stake for the United States, however, and looking at the country's Atlantic coast, where most of the people live, we can see that while the Appalachian Mountains do a fair job at holding back the ocean, any land that falls on the other side of the range is up for grabs. This includes the Delmarva Peninsula, where over 1.5 million people live, and which we can see sits almost entirely at sea level, meaning it won't take much before the entire state of Delaware plus good chunks of Maryland and Virginia have disappeared. Further north, we'll find the third highly vulnerable type of landform, glacial deposits. If you watched my geography of the Ice Age video, you'd remember that this part of the continent was encompassed by glaciers just a few thousand years ago. And very similar to rivers, where a glacier ends, all the rock and rubble it picked up along the way is deposited in one big mound called a moraine. This type of land building
Now, we got a lot of those trenches all through here. We got a lot of those trenches, right? That with the right influx of water will fill up. On top of that, this is how our dams look. This is why I had that picture up there in the beginning, and I'm gonna leave out and I'm gonna get back to the video. This is our dams. Now, make sure y'all go get a picture of our dams, because I'm going to show y'all another map as well that goes to what I'm saying. But this is dams. Now, look at all the stuff that will be underwater. Find it odd, right? This is just, let's go. Let's get back to it.
has resulted in the formation of places like Long Island and Cape Cod. The only issue here is that being built out of loose rubble means there's virtually no solid bedrock here to reinforce the land against tidal forces. The only reason these spits of land are still around at all is because they're both only approximately 20,000 years old, which is incredibly young on a geologic scale and means it won't take much for them to wash away. Okay, so far we've only looked at lands made vulnerable because they protrude into the ocean, but water can also intrude onto land. For an example of what this looks like, we can move over to America's west coast. Here we can clearly see California's Central Valley against the Sierra Nevada mountains. What originally started as a large inland sea filled in over time as sediments from the encompassing mountains settled out, in the end laying down a huge but flat valley floor. Meaning that with sea levels on the rise, each successive storm will send water deeper into the basin from the San Francisco Bay, where it would meet little to no resistance on its way to refilling this basin. Contrary to the previous few examples, however, this is a rather preventable disaster if steps are taken now, as all it would take would be a dam somewhere across the San Francisco Bay. Heck, make that dam power a desalinization plant and you're even one step closer to solving California's water insecurity problem while you're at it. But okay, the United States isn't the only place in the world. If it was, that'd be terrifying. But it does appear to be the most vulnerable country in North America, well, besides the Bahamas, I guess. And looking through Central America, we can see that while fringe flooding would still occur everywhere, there's nothing as bad as the disappearance of entire peninsulas. This brings us to South America. Looking back at our elevation map, we can see much of this continent's coastline is reinforced by mountains. With the Andes in the west, the Guiana Shield in the north, and the Brazilian highlands in the east, virtually the entire interior of the continent is protected from the ocean. There are, however, some breaks in the continent's armor, with the biggest of these being found right here, where the mighty Amazon River cuts through the coastal mountains before emptying into the Atlantic. By volume, the Amazon discharges more water than any other river on Earth, and by a wide margin, which means this river has both deeply eroded its basin and built a huge flat delta at its terminal. Altogether, this means that as sea levels rise, the first part of the river system to disappear will no doubt be the coastal floodplains. But depending on whether or not us humans have had enough with climate change at this point, seawater could continue its intrusion further, flooding along the river's course until it reaches the true Amazon basin, which forms what's essentially a bowl at the heart of the continent, where a new inland sea could develop. A very similar situation can be seen with the second largest break in South America's mountain defenses, where the Paraná and Uruguay rivers have created a similar lowland plain leading to the Rio de la Plata. While arguably to a lesser extent than the Amazon, flooding here would put the city of Buenos Aires, the biggest city in Argentina, underwater. The only other major weakness on the continent isn't nearly as big as the previous two, but nonetheless represents a devastating threat to one country in particular, Ecuador. Found straddling the wrong side of the Andes, a large portion of the country's population has settled within this central valley, including Guayaquil, the biggest city in the country. While the area of risk might be small, flooding here would still force the evacuation and relocation of millions of people. Moving over to Africa, we'll find perhaps the best geography to defend against rising sea levels. In a recent video of mine, we learned that the continent was largely the result of several smaller landmasses like India, Antarctica, and South America breaking away from Africa. But really, the joke's on them, because this fracturing has left Africa with a fairly steep coastline, making most of the continent exceedingly resilient to the rising ocean. But Africa still has rivers, meaning we're going to see similar weak spots to those we've already touched on. The first of these can be found off the west coast of the continent, where we can see this large patch of land falls notably lower than its surroundings. These lowlands can be attributed to the Senegal and Gambia rivers and are shared between the countries of Mauritania, Senegal, the Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau. Altogether, this places the most densely populated region of all of these countries at extreme risk of incursions by the ocean. Looking to the north, we'll find a number of inland depressions along Africa's Mediterranean coast, starting with Tunisia's Chott el Djerid, Libya's Sabqa al-Kunayin, and the biggest of the bunch, Egypt's Qatra Depression, which reaches all the way down 147 meters below sea level. While none of these have direct inlets to the sea, a rising ocean means a rising water table, opening up the possibility for these basins to backfill as water leaks up from the ground. Technically, this is already happening, only to a much smaller degree at the bottom of the Qatra Depression, sustaining the Qatra Oasis. It might actually be in Egypt's best interest to get ahead of the issue by building a dam and canal where the depression is closest to the ocean. This would give them control over how this lake bed fills and reap some hydroelectricity along the way, instead of simply handing things over to nature. That being said, Egypt might actually have far more important matters to deal with, considering the nearby Nile Delta falls into the same vulnerable position as the rest of the river deltas we've looked at so far. But unlike those, 41% of Egypt's population lives within this delta floodplain, or about 95 million people, along with the vast majority of the country's arable land. The continued flooding of the Nile Delta could lead to the abandoning of some of the oldest continuously occupied lands in human history and leave millions of people with nowhere to go but the desert. If Egypt was really smart, maybe they'd dam the Qattara Basin and use the energy to power a desalination plant to create a freshwater system and use the depression as new farmland to try to balance out what will be lost. Or, and feel free to tell me if I've just watched too many real-life lore videos, Egypt could lead the charge in damming up the entire Mediterranean, not to drain it, but simply to keep the sea level where it is. While this might be a crazy idea, Egypt is by no means the only country that would benefit from this. Italy's Po Valley, also the country's most important farming region, unsurprisingly sits at substantial risk of flooding also, threatening to submerge Venice once and for all. But the effects of Mediterranean flooding stretch even further than this. Istanbul, technically the biggest city in all of Europe, sits directly in the path of rising sea levels and is just the beginning of the troubles in the Black Sea.
Get out the house. But two, I wanted to get y'all to understand like how the earth is being flooded. Like it's not just United States, it's not, you know what I mean, Florida specifically. Nah, it's the whole world is being flooded. It's a whole thing going on with damn I think they said in 100 years, so probably less than 100 years. 2100, the earth they saying should be flooded. And by that time I'm pretty sure they'll have technology to get them off this planet or whatever. But what they what they try to do is get off this planet because they understand that you can't stop the water. You can't stop the lands from sinking. If you go to Google Map right now on your shit, it's gonna give you a animated drawing of the Earth. It's good. It's a good you know depiction, how you say that word, of the Earth. But if you look at the Earth and you do the time lapse, you do like time lapse, you will see that the water level's been rising. The water level's been rising. So it's only a matter of time. Yeah, I mean, it ain't a point of if the world's gonna flood. It's a point of time of when, and that's the reason why I had that picture, that map up there from the beginning, is because a lot of those places where you see the dams and stuff like that, those are the first places going to be underwater. That's the first places going to be underwater. That's the first places that's vulnerable to be flooded and cause mass casualties in the process of breaking and stuff like that. So I want you to look at this map real quick, and then I'm gonna put up another map. Where we at? Oh, right here. Okay, so this is the map of the U.S., right? This is why I told y'all remember this map, because I was gonna come back to it. Now, look at this one, and this is what future U.S. they saying is what future U.S. is gonna look like. As soon as it load in. There you go. They said that's future U.S. flooded. Look at how Atlanta is damn near ready to be covered. South Carolina damn near ready to be covered. It's a lot of places, and this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. This ain't even the whole thing. This is just how it's gonna start and how it's gonna look. Look, California gone. California gone. They said that video that we were just watching. He said California is got a trench that's gonna get filled up. What it look like now? Future U.S. This is why they try and get their ass up off this planet, bruh. They like, nah, bruh, I'm not saying it. Look, you know what I mean, how do we transport people through cold without them fucking going through hypothermia, freezing, organ stopping and shit like that? Okay, we cryotherapy them. We put them in the cryo chamber. We put them in the cryo chamber. How we make sure that their heart stay pumping. We give them daggone. I showed y'all robotic hearts. We give the people robotic hearts. How we make sure that they keep their memories intact when in and out the thawing process, that they don't go slow or nothing like that. Oh, we got all these sequences and on a 5G crystal chip. We got their whole genetic sequence on a crystal chip. All we gotta do is download the program into the data, and then transfer the profiles back into the body. Come on now. Come on now. That's not play dumb. Let's not play dumb out here in these streets. Like they don't have a lab of substitute bodies right now. Lab grown bodies that you could daggone put your chip in. That's why they want down. Yeah, come on, we can download your memories and data and shit. That's why they doing studies on the brain. How long the brain can hold on. Hold on. How long the brain can survive outside the body. How I mean outside the body. How long the brain can survive with the body being no longer active. That's why they doing them studies. Because when they get time to leave us, when they get time to leave this earth, because I ain't gonna keep saying us, because a lot of us is gonna already be dead by the future world, man. We already gonna be dead. Like B said, it's only gonna be a remnant of people still alive at this point in time. But at this time right here, yeah, they putting the plays together to learn how to cryotherapy somebody's body the way so they can revive them back. Not only that, we're trying to find a way to keep the brain and stuff alive throughout this whole process. To freeze the brain die because you can't use the brain no more. So you gotta figure out how to keep the brain alive throughout this whole process. When we transport these bodies, and then we upload the brain back with the memories and the genomes and all that crazy shit. I found it odd, right? And I wanted to talk about this a long time ago, and I might bring this video back up. I'm gonna bring this video up. It's not gonna be Mike. I'm gonna bring this video up. But so the guy made a connection between why Bill Gates bought all that farmland, right? Why he bought all that farmland. Look at this map of the farmland that he got. Let's look at the future map. No. Let's look at his map of the land he got. Now let's look at the future map. See, these motherfuckers be making moves, bro. These motherfuckers be making moves. While y'all focused on 1,000 bottles of baby oil and yo, I got the last bottle of Diddy oil. Yeah, while y'all doing that, these motherfuckers is making moves because they understand y'all dumbasses ain't fit to be here. I ain't gonna worry about y'all dumbasses no more. I'm happy. Let me go ahead and keep getting this land and let me go ahead and get this stuff together while I need to now. Because yeah. Y'all ass ain't gonna be here when future world map is here. A future map, yeah. Y'all ass gonna be extinct. That shit crazy, bruh. And it's just odd. It's just odd, like the person said. It's just odd how the land that he's buying is just out of flood range. Like it's not. It's not it's not that it won't get flooded possibly. Well, not even gonna say possibly. It won't get flooded in time. It's just he's in the best position to survive when the flood happens. Look at the map. They got a whole Atlantis out there. They California. They said California already ready to is kind of falling off the map. Might be its own thing. Who knows? I doubt California is gonna be its own island, but go underwater, yeah, it's possible. Florida, shit. We in Maryland, so yeah, we close to that. Mm. Get my black ass up out of Maryland, I know that. Man, they head Midwest. And they head Midwest on their ass. Cause the way that shit looking, ooh wee, that shit looks spooky. Especially like looking at how the map is now with all this land and shit. To look at that, oh man, that look crazy. Shouts out, shouts out to Atlas Pro. I gotta put that whole video. I put that whole video in the joint for y'all so that y'all can see because it's like 20 minutes long. That was only I think like probably like 10 minutes maybe. If yeah, maybe like 10 minutes, if that. So yeah, let me see something. I gotta add this to the stage.
It's a neutral day. That's our 365 days.
Oh no, not that. All right. So as I just, drive and talk to y'all and shit. Now just pay attention. We was talking about damn we was talking about the damn US going underneath the water, right? Now this is a time lapse video of how where the flooding is gonna be at. So you might want to keep this part, if anything, of the video. Keep this part because this the places you might want to start traveling to, start heading to, and if you serious on getting land and stuff, you might want to start putting your plays in order. Yeah, I mean, and get some land out here because as we can see up top of the United States is already getting big. It's already starting to spread up there. And like they say, California, man, oh my gosh, I feel sorry for the people out there, bro. Like this, we can't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can't stop God from doing stuff, bro. You can't. It's like no matter how much they try to play God and try to be who God is, and I'm a bring a person back to life from dead, man. Listen, listen. When it's time, it's your time. Ain't no motherfucker bring you back from dead, cause obviously y'all done made him mad that he gonna go to the extent of just go ahead and just take y'all out again. Like I said, like this, and now this is a time that look how Florida is underneath that water. Florida damn near gone. And it's spreading up. I can't see that because I'm on a cell phone, but it's spreading up from down there from Florida. Yeah, keep this video, keep this timestamp video. I was putting the stuff together. I forgot to put the links in there, but I'm gonna go back and put everybody links in the description so y'all can, yeah, I mean, go to their links and stuff. Because I found this video interesting because I've how I seen the Bill Gates one before, and I was like, bro, I never heard nothing about, yeah, I mean, flooding going on in the U.S. I didn't hear, or U.S. even going underwater. I didn't even hear nothing about that. Like, cause they're not going to tell us nothing about. They don't want us to know that the U.S. They don't want no citizen to know that the U.S. will possibly be under. Do you know what that would do? I'm surprised they still let me go this long. Like, do you know what that'll do, bro? If people really, like, the whole world really know, like, yeah, in uh 2036, damn, the whole east coast of the United States is gonna be underwater. People lose their damn mind. That's the whole east coast damn near. I know Maryland underneath, from what it looked like to me. What it looked like to me, yeah, Maryland underneath. I had to turn to the phone long ways just now. Maryland underneath. Florida underneath. Texas is half underneath. San Antonio underneath. Kansas. Good grief. Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, look at this map. And motherfuckers is trying to figure out why Bill Gates is got water. I mean, got land in certain spots. Like, bro, because he understand the map. He trying to get the best position as possible. That's at this point in time. It's like war zone at this point in time. That's what make me so good at Warzone, bro. I get in the best positions at possible, bro. You gotta treat that like life. Get in the best position as possible. Look at this shit. And US, half of US is damn near underneath water. I don't even know how long this video is. I can't see it because I'm traveling. Look at that shit. That shit's still flooding certain spots. Yeah, man. This why they trying to get up off this earth. They like, nah, bro. I ain't trying to go. I ain't trying to go like that. Las Vegas. Las Vegas and went under look like. Now mind you, we supposed to have a new moon for two, excuse me, close to like 2 months. Supposed to have a two moons for close to like 2 months. What if it just constantly rained all 2 months and and don't stop, like just constantly rains, bruh. Stuff gonna be, yeah. Like I still haven't. I wanted to see this arrival of this new moon, bruh. But I fell asleep, bruh. I wish I could have stayed up. But I know, like, ever since that joint been arriving and getting closer, bro, like the weather been thrown off, people been thrown off. Shit, this whole daggone month of September been thrown off on the celestial side with, like the sky side, stuff like that. If you into like the planets alignments and stuff like that, like, yeah, which you should be, because I was just saying, like, that's what we went off of back in the day. We didn't have no real calendars like that. We had the daggone sky, and what they marked was what they seen. It's got this look like this on these point in time. This like this on this point in time. I'm still thrilled. I'm still thrilled about 13 zodiac signs in 12 months. Y'all might as well just stop lying to us and slapping us in our face and just tell us, bro, it's 13 months, 28 days. Refix our schedule, our work schedules. Yeah, man. And yeah, because the shit already that came out, bro. You indirectly saying it by telling us we got 13 daggone zodiac signs. Look at that. US down there gone. Mm. Yeah, they gonna get off the planet. Before this happens right here, they'll be long gone. They'll be long gone. A lot of people going, ooh, horrible. Horrible face. But the least, yeah, they gonna be gone. They gonna figure out how to cryo their body and download their brain into a memory card. And yeah, they gonna figure out how to do all that shit before. Oh, birds. Before this even think about taking place. Oh shit. Alright, we're almost at this. Hold on, abs. Hold on. Damn, that shit gone. Getting kids. Damn, look at that, bro. That shit gone. Ooh, ooh, man, look at that. What they gonna do with that, bro? You can't do nothing with that, bro. Can't do nothing with that, bro. They talking about future world map, future world map, motherfucker. That shit gonna be underwater. There we go. Ah, come on, bro. Oh, I ain't parking. Yeah, future world map gonna be underwater. That's crazy. But yeah, bro, people like Bill Gates understand though. People like Bill Gates understand. I'm gonna buy as much land in the middle of that flooding shit as possible. Yeah, man. You think they not going? You think they not watching that same motherfucking video of the world flooding and stuff like that? You think they're not watching that video? Like, yeah, we gotta get spots here, and here. Yeah, we gotta get them people out of it. You think they're not doing that? Come on, bro. They doing that, bro. They doing that, bro. They understand. They understand. Why? Why would they go get all these bunkers and stuff? Come on now. Look at that map. Remember, you need so P game, right? If you look at the map and how it is, he's by water, but he's not directly by water to where as though he will get flooded out, and like I said, he will get flooded out eventually, but not immediately. And it looked like with what he's buying, eh, excuse me, and it looked like from what he's buying, even if that land get flooded, shit, that's still his land. So that means he got that body of water too. That's how I do it. No, that's my water. You can't come out here. That's my water. Mm, mm, mm. From that to that, which one is it? This one? Yeah. So there going the US being flooded. Now I'm at the school now. Yeah, man, I want to see this. But like that guy was saying, Florida, and even if you look at Florida now was bigger than that. So it's already sinking. You can see the changes in levels. And this now. Like even South Carolina was bigger than that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bro. So this is sea level elevation. Damn, the Appalachian Mountain go far. I ain't even realize that. I ain't even realize that.
Your son Ben is held.
Oh, my son got in trouble. Yeah, look at man. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And especially if, like I said, if one of these media, if that media in 2029 actually scrape a piece of US, bruh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Open up the floodgates. Everything's flooded. See, they know that. That's what I'm saying. They know that, bruh. They said, what should we prepare for? Everything. One thing I'm gonna say prepare for floods. Prepare for flooding. Prepare that going to be able to swim and shit like that, because we gonna need some type of being able to swim. You gonna cause it just that yeah, it's just that you're gonna need to learn how to swim. That's one thing. But for you're gonna need to prepare for you're gonna need to prepare for all the people who's trying to hurry up and mass evacuate and shit like that. Yeah, man, shit. Because at this point, if it gets to this point in time where stuff is getting flooded like that, ain't shit you gonna be able to pretty much do. Shit you gonna be able to pretty much do. None of us, no citizen right now owns a boat. Like regular citizens that is not into fucking fishing and shit like that. Like you gotta really be into that kind of shit, fishing and shit like that, to have a fucking boat. But I ride past houses 24 fucking 7. It might be one out of 1,000 motherfuckers, 2,000, probably three. I'm gonna say one out of 10,000 motherfuckers that got a boat. And and to say that, if that's the case, when the people in Florida was going through the shit that they was doing and shit, it would have been more people with speedboats out there fucking saving people instead of one guy. Like, yeah, yeah. Ain't much you can do with some shit like this. I would invest in the boat. That's the if anything, people, do I would say invest in the boat, because at least a boat would keep you at at least boat will have you the way as though you can survive on water. Like, cause when shit like this hit the fan and cities is being pummeled with glass and rocks and debris, because that's ultimately what killed the people. It's not the water actually, you know, coming in. Yeah, the water will sweep you, and water strong, so if it hits you hard, yeah, it can break bones and shit like that. But it's the debris, not being able to breathe underneath that motherfucking water, shit bumping into shit hitting you, knocking the wind out you. Yeah, it's all shit scratching you and puncturing you and shit like that. It's gonna be the objects in the water that actually kill you. So yeah, I would prep. I would try to and Shit. Looking at the Noah story. Looking at the Noah story. Fuck what a motherfucker need to go buy a boat for? Can't you build one? Shit. Build one. Build a raft or something. Some type of something that's gonna keep you on the water. If you can figure out some type of way to build something that's gonna keep you on the water, shit, you got an edge of surviving. I don't know for how long, but you got an edge of surviving. Shit. You got an edge over the motherfuckers that don't got a boat. I know that. Shit, yeah. Prep for water. Prep for prep for massive water, massive amounts of water coming through. That's what you need to prep for. Shit, power outages and shit like that, that comes naturally. Shit, fucking a bad storm can knock your power out. Hurricane can knock your power out. Shit, we seen that. Hurricanes knock power outs for a long time. So yeah, if you want to preface, if you prepare for something, prepare for a lot of water. Yeah. Heck yeah. That would be the only thing. That joint look crazy. Now that I'm looking at it, bro. Yeah. When it come down to that much amount of water, ain't nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do. Yeah, ain't nothing you can do with that amount of water, bro. But see, by the time we get to this time, with the waters covering all the states like that, like yeah, we won't even be here. We'll be long gone. We'll be old as shit. Like dust. We'll be dust particles. Yeah, we wouldn't. Our grandkids wouldn't even see that shit. My grandkids wouldn't see that shit. Not at this time. Yeah, man, this is crazy. Oh snap! Hold on, I'm gonna put this up there for y'all to read. Oh dang, I didn't get it. Nope, I didn't get it. Oh man, it's alright. But yeah, that's about it for this one. You know what I mean, like we have storms coming, bruh. All because we got planets shifting and stuff entering close by to the atmosphere. You know, added ozone layers and stuff. Like we got stuff happening, and that we need to be more concerned about earthly things. Then this is why I did this live, because I was telling myself like, bro, you gotta tell them to be into more earthly things. Like we need to be more in tune to earthly things. Yeah, it's good to stay on top of the news and what's going on, but obviously they not telling us about shit like this, future maps and yeah, I mean, what parts of the other states is gonna get flooded and they ain't talking about this. They don't want us to know shit like this because this shit like this it cause a damn uproar. So yeah, bro, like we gotta stay grounded. We gotta stay grounded. Get out this fairy tale that if it ain't happening to us, yeah, I mean, then it's not happening. Like the shit is not happening. Like the shit is happening. If it today or tomorrow, one of those dams bust and open up the floodgates, shit, that's a catastrophe. Somebody hacked that motherfucker, and everything that was closed, they just randomly opened up. That's a catastrophe. That's gonna impact a lot of people's lives. Just because we don't see it happening doesn't mean shit not happening. It's because we don't see shit happening doesn't mean shit not happening. Why would he go buy all that farmland? That's farmland. It's not just regular land. That's farmland. It's trying to survive. When don't you want to survive? That's why I'm glad Theo be saying what he say. He like, man, I just want my people to be the best and the strongest, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. We should want to survive. We should want to thrive. We should want our people to be the last people on earth. What the fuck are you talking about? Who wouldn't want their people to be in the game of Warzone? In order to win, you gotta be the last person. So y'all just happy with getting exterminated early and that motherfucker being a laughing stock. Like, yeah, we used them they whole life till we exterminate they dumbass. They didn't even see the play coming. I'm done. I just like I said, I had to bring that up. I'll get with y'all on the next one. This was I didn't even think I was gonna do 2 hours. I thought it was gonna be another like hour 35. No, it's 2 hours. Shit. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all going everybody's coming in. Yeah, y'all a little bit too late on this one. You had to catch the playback. You had to catch the playback on this one.
Form on the coast is why we'll see the nearby Mississippi River Delta submitting more and more to the ocean each year. To make matters worse, all that sediment that built up the delta must have come from somewhere, usually having eroded from the banks of the river itself, carving out a nice channel for ocean water to push even deeper into Louisiana and destroying some of the country's most productive farmland in the process. Cornfields and Disney World aren't the only things at stake for the United States, however, and looking at the country's Atlantic coast, where most of the people live, we can see that while the Appalachian Mountains do a fair job at holding back the ocean, any land that falls on the other side of the range is up for grabs. This includes the Delmarva Peninsula, where over 1.5 million people live, and which we can see sits almost entirely at sea level, meaning it won't take much before the entire state of Delaware plus good chunks of Maryland and Virginia have disappeared. Further north, we'll find